Getting older.
This is it. The headliner, the main event. After years of Lexus promising to make less boring cars and instead giving us countless spindle-grille facelifts, the 2018 LC500 is here as the brand's new North Star. It's the official halo to mark where Toyota's luxury brand is headed. This is the car that we hope can bring an end to the relentless mentions of boring cars, which are themselves needlessly boring. And besides, not boring is a terrible metric for evaluation. What Lexus is really trying to do is give its cars some spirit, to transcend the paint-by-numbers stereotype that made this brand the luxury juggernaut it is today. By that yardstick, the LC500 is a success simply based on how it looks. It's beautiful in a way that we couldn't predict from the 2012 LFLC concept that foreshadowed it. The kind of beauty where instead of reflexively grabbing your phone to take a picture, you just stand there and keep looking. And pictures don't do this car justice, anyway. They soften the edges and reduce the massive draw of the white shoulders. In person, looking straight at the LC, the car looks like it's 80% hood. In the rest of the lineup, the trademark Lexus grille's execution ranges from caricature, RC, to botched nose job, LX. Here it pulls everything together. From every other angle, the LC has some feature that seems excessive, in the best way possible. The proportions of the LC give off a distinctively functional vibe, and it's genuine. That hood is so long because the 5.0-liter V8's center of mass sits 3.5 inches behind the front axle. The extra space up front is mostly empty. Lexus uses high-strength steel cross braces to shore up torsional rigidity instead of adding structure ahead of the front wheels, and the battery sits under the trunk floor. For all the visual excitement, the LC is still a conventional vehicle. Aside from some advancements in the LC500's hybrid powertrain, the innovation here is of the iterative type. It's interesting, in that Lexus is betting on emotional appeal and driving character at a time when the future relevance of both is up for debate. If anything, the LC is a car for the current automotive world, not the one to come. And despite extensive use of aluminum and sheet-molded carbon, the LC500 weighs in at a hefty 4,280 pounds. That's right in line with the BMW 6 Series and a good deal below the Bentley-esque Mercedes-Benz S-Class Coupe's 4,700 pounds. But the Benz is all-wheel drive, and the Porsche Carrera by comparison weighs 1,000 pounds less. But did we mention the LC500 is beautiful? Yes, this car looks so good it can get away with some extra weight. It can get away with a lot of things, actually. There is raw emotional appeal to the LC, and that's what Lexus, and Toyota, has been missing. So we give the LC500 a pass on the wide door sill and low seating position that make ingress and egress slightly challenging. Ditto for the shift lever, which mimics the pattern of the Prius and takes some learning. At least you'll be comfortable while you fuss with putting the car into drive. Lexus went through more than 50 seat designs to arrive at the two available bucket versions. Adjustment is limited to 6 directions plus 4-way lumbar support. That's all you need here, just a few simple movements for maximum comfort. We prefer the extra bolster of the optional sport seats, but both are as close to perfect as you can find today. Lexus went so far as to vary the density of the foam at different points in the side bolster, with resin inserts that add stiffness right where you need extra bracing. It's those kinds of details that make the interior equally as lovely as the outside. Take the door pulls as another example. In most cars, there is some kind of housing around the handle, hiding the way the mechanism slots in through the trim panel. In the LC that handle sits naked, like a lone tree in a field of Alcantara. All of the trim is stitched by hand, all of the leather is soft, and none of the joints or mating surfaces inside the LC reveal the method of assembly. It's the kind of fine-tuning that sets apart established luxury brands and calls out the aspiring ones. With the LC interior, Lexus is showing craftsmanship that belongs in the upper tier. Lexus wants the LC to be a driver's car, and so the cockpit is focused on the instrument cluster. Which is just as well, because that allows you to ignore the fussy touchpad interface for the infotainment system. Seriously, we barely used it on our test drive. The essential functions, radio and climate control, are operated by hard buttons. Adaptive cruise control and collision mitigation are standard, so there's a safety net should you attempt operating a force feedback touchpad while trying to do anything else, such as driving. In front of the steering wheel sits a single digital dial flanked by temperature and fuel displays. Like in other Lexus models, the color and design changes with the driving mode. But going back to the driver-centric theme, the drive modes are selected by a knob that juts out of the right side of the gauge cluster housing, right at hand level. Twist toward you to toggle between Comfort and Eco, twist away for Sport S and Sport S Plus, or push the button on the end for normal and custom settings. An identical knob on the left adjusts the stability control, but has so few options it seems like a wasted opportunity.